Hello, I'm Paige. I am a self-taught abstract artist and a reptile enthusiast. I am currently working on a tiny coloring book project, and by tiny I don't mean, oh, it's a cute little project. I'm talking about tiny as in the pages are going to be tiny. Gotta make that distinction with today's video topic. So today I'd like to talk about big projects. I have done quite a few of these in my day. I'd classify these as big projects. I've done 2 adult coloring books and 1 reverse coloring book. So I'm used to big projects that take more than a day or 2 to do. And these projects, it's really you define what you would consider a big project. It could be writing a chapter in a book or writing an entire book. It could be, I don't know, doing a large painting or a set of paintings. It could be really anything. What seems big to you is what you define as a big project. So I'm gonna give you some details and some tips on how to get started and how to keep going to hopefully finish your goal of this project. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into this unscripted. I have been trying to write a script for this, but I just can't come up with the bullet points or the outline. So it's going to be a bit rambly, but you know, nothing wrong with a little rambling from time to time, especially if there's little nuggets of helpful information. So, big projects. Doesn't matter what it is, starting it is probably going to be difficult. I actually faced that earlier this year. I knew I wanted to start another coloring book project, and I did not know what the project... I had a few ideas of what it could be, and I just didn't know what it... I knew I wanted... Ignore the monitor. But, I knew what I wanted it to be. I guess you could say I didn't know what I wanted it to be. I had a few ideas knocking around in my head, so I put it off. And I spoke about this in, I believe, my Starting New Projects video, so if you're looking for something to tag off that, I'll see if I can link that somewhere around the video. And when it came to me, like when the inspiration and the motivation to start the project came to me, it really hit like a truck. And I've been working on it ever since. I have one drawing I've been working on in my personal time right here. I'm not going to do all the drawings as vlog videos. We'll never get the project done if we do it that way. And it was just a matter of, I'm going to just start, because if I wait until everything is perfect, I'm never going to start. So the first thing is, if you're waiting for the perfect time to start, the perfect time was yesterday. You should have started it yesterday. Feel all the regret. I'm just kidding. But in reality, you should have, the second best time to start is today. And I know that's a very cliche, oh yeah, you know, everyone says that, but it's true. Start the project. You don't have to go and create a masterpiece non-stop, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but just start. And it doesn't have to start with, oh, I'm actually doing work, like doing say you're doing a set of really high detailed paintings. You don't have to start with the paintings. You can start in little segmented chunks, which let's get into the next segment. Well, I guess kind of the same segment. Mid-segment? Well, mid-segment. And you can break these tasks into little chunks. Like, say, we'll use an example. Say you want to do a series of landscapes from where you live, because you live in a very scenic and beautiful area, or, you know, you've got beautiful skylines to paint. Well, you don't have to start with the painting. You could go out to the craft store or wherever you source your materials and just write down a list of materials you think you would like to use. And then drive around or walk around, hike around, take photos of where you think you want to paint from and pick those locations. And that, you've started the project if you do something like that. With me, I was thinking about different drawing ideas. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse. just getting over a cold. But I always think of different drawing ideas that I have in mind before I start a coloring book project. So, or any drawing project, I always think of different drawing ideas. I look online to see if there's any wacky, weird patterns that I can edit and make my own. I always am looking. I sometimes just draw just to let the patterns appear when they appear. I've come up with new designs that way, and it's great. So it's just start with little things, like start with the preparation to start the project. And sometimes with the preparations, you'll get excited about the project and get the inspiration to actually start. And it's okay to wait. I wait all the time until I get the right moment. But if you're looking for the wake-up call to start, today is your wake-up call. Go ahead and start. It's okay. And let's transition into the next topic. Maybe you aren't sure what the final product is going to look like. Maybe this project would be a challenge to your technical skill or your patience, and you don't know if you have it in you to create what you have envisioned. And let me be the first one to tell you, it's never going to turn out how you envisioned. My first coloring book, not at all what I pictured. My second coloring book was a lot closer, but it's never going to be exactly how you envision it, because the idea is going to grow and develop as the project goes on. And this is true especially for projects that take super long periods of time. They take, like, your original vision when you start the planning process versus the final product are going to be different. It's going to take time to grow and develop, and you're going to paint, and like say the landscapes. Perhaps you're painting in the spring and you're like, kind of want to try, maybe instead of doing different landscapes of different areas, it's the same landscape at different times of the year. So that way you can spread that 200 hours of painting into across a whole year instead of into a few months. So there are ways to split the project up and to really don't let that fear of it's not going to turn out how I want it to turn out stop you. Instead, what I do is, and I am always about the process, and that's one of the things that helps keep me going, but I'm always letting curiosity lead the way. I have an idea of what this is going to look like, but what will it actually look like? I'm always kind of curious. And I will use, like, maybe I'll do a series of posts on the community tab of, like, inspiration versus the actual drawing. And they're never the same. And it's, you know, even if you're taking inspiration from something, it's going to be your own. And as you develop and work over those 200 hours, you're going to improve. And maybe there's things about it you don't like, and maybe you'll go back and change them. Or maybe you'll go, wow, I've really improved. So definitely big projects are great for that. So instead of letting fear of the unknown stop you, let the creativity of the curiosity of what could be get you going. And now let's talk about once you're deep in the weeds and we're working on this project and you're already 200 hours in and you hate looking at the art or pieces of art that you've been painting or what you've been writing or really any project. One thing that helps me is sometimes I will literally stop work and work on another project. Right now I have the tiny coloring book going on, but I also have like a side thing going on where I'm going to do like this hybrid sketchbook, notebook, coloring book. So those ones are going to be bigger drawings, and if I get sick and tired of the tiny coloring books, I can just switch over to that one real quick for a drawing or two, and that'll help keep the novelty of working, and it'll help keep the interest in a way, if that makes sense. In a perfect world, they would both be done at the same time. One's going to be done way longer way sooner than the other. But maybe break it up. Go, okay, I did the outlines for this. I'm gonna take a couple days off and just doodle for fun in my sketchbook. Or I wrote this one chapter, I've been rewriting this chapter for weeks. I'm gonna take some time off and maybe write some slam poetry. I don't know what you're into, but you can switch tasks. It doesn't have to be from one big project to another big project and back and forth like I do. I am a crazy woman who cannot be stopped. That's why I do it my way. But if you, side projects, or even if you're working on a big project and you don't have any ideas for a small side project, just take a break. You know, if you overwork yourself, you're not gonna get the result you want. And you're not gonna continue, you're gonna burn yourself out and you're not gonna want to finish the project. So, take breaks. You don't have to work on it all day, every day, forever. I personally work a few hours here and there, especially I have other life stuff going on, so I haven't had as much time to draw. But I will get one drawing done, take a day or two break, and like I spread out my drawing. I don't draw all, like, every spare moment of my day. I do other things. I have other things going on. But you can take breaks, even if you want to work on it every other day or 3 days a week. Taking breaks will help keep you from burning out on the project. And that is probably one of the biggest things I can say is take breaks. It's okay. You don't have to be productive all day, every day. It's okay to literally lay in bed and scroll through TikTok for 5 hours. Like, the world's not going to end if you do that. Just don't let it happen every day, you know? But you say you've been working hard on work and school and everything else, and you just don't have the energy to work on this side project or your art projects. It's okay. We all get creatively spent. We all get mentally or physically exhausted. So taking breaks, I personally think, is like the ultimate superpower. I regularly take breaks. Like, most, say, for me, it's usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. I don't do a ton of drawing. Maybe a little in the mornings and evenings on Sundays, but usually I just take it as a day to play video games or go to the gym or do whatever to physically and mentally recharge from all mentally stimulating tasks. And as you get into the swing of the project, you'll be able to analyze your personal life, your work life, your everything, and you're going to be able to figure out if you like regiment, when working on this big project will work. It is just what I recommend is to take breaks, schedule time for yourself, schedule time for the project, and you will be better for it, and the art will be better for it every single time. I guarantee it. And think about that. That's all I really have. So, thank you if you've stuck around for my rambling this long. You know, if you're daunted or scared by a big project or a big task, don't let fear stop you. Take breaks, pace yourself. You know, you don't have to be a wonder person and get everything done all the time, all at once. So, don't be afraid to start these new big projects, and just take it as you can. Take your time and really get to know the art. I know that you're going to get to the point where you're going to be like, I absolutely hate this painting, or I absolutely hate this. And when you get to that point, jump, change tasks, take a break. You got this. All right. With that rambling being done and said, thank you for lasting this long, and have a good one.